Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. This is my video after a long time because I went to India for a trip. So now I'm back, fresh and ready to start talking about some topics. I have 4 important topics today. The CSPA relief, the change in the policy that USCIS has announced. The second is premium processing expansion. What is coming up next? The third is stateside visa stamping, specifically for H1 and L1 stamping. And then the last and important topic that a lot of people are interested in is what will happen to the priority dates for EB category in the next couple of months or until the end of this year. So all important topics you don't want to miss. Watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration and lifestyle related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. And for your specific immigration needs, before you take any action, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. Now, since I went to India through my most convenient airlines, which is Qatar Airways, here's the Doha airport. It is really beautiful. If you haven't through the Doha airport before, you might want to take your next flight via that. The airport is listed as the best airport in the world. It has lots of amenities and you literally forget that you are in the airport. You feel like you are in some kind of a luxury mall. So check out this if you happen to be passing through this airport on your trip to India. Also, it was nostalgic reaching my hometown, Pune. But now that I'm back, let's talk about some important topics. First, CSPA changes. Now CSPA, what is CSPA? Is Child Status Protection Act. This was put in place in 2002 or 2003 to make sure that you have a child age locked based on specific criteria when your children are on your immigrant petition. So there is a law in the United States when the child or when a person turns 21 years of age, they can no longer stay on their parents' application for adjustment of status. Now there is an exception to this if they were on your petition at the time of application of 485 or adjustment of status, and at that time if your priority date was current in the final action chart and if certain other conditions were met, then your age was locked. Now USCIS recently made a change to this policy and we are going to take a look at that a little bit closer. So here it is what it says, Child Status Protection Act. On February 14th, USCIS issued policy guidance in the USCIS policy manual to update when an immigrant visa becomes available for the purpose of calculating CSPA age for non-citizens seeking lawful permanent residence in a preference category. This guidance is effective immediately and applies to adjustment of status applications we adjudicate on or after February 14th, 2023. Now, if we previously denied your adjustment of status application, but you believe your CSPA age calculation is under 21 years of age, you may file a motion to reopen your application using a notice of appeal or motion. Non-citizens must generally file a motion to reopen within 30 days of a decision. For a motion filed more than 30 days after the denial, if the non-citizens demonstrates that the delay was reasonable and was beyond their control, we may in our discretion excuse the untimely filing of the motion. So what have they changed? What they have changed is instead of using the final action date, now they are going to use the filing date chart for the calculation of your CSPA starting February 14th. If your child was denied a green card based on the fact that they have aged out, based on the fact that their filing date chart was current at the time of application of 485, then yes, you may file for opening or reopening of this case and get that child's case approved this way. Now if you need more details, there is a link on this website that which is what I am highlighting. It goes into the detailed calculation of how this CSPA date is calculated. And if you have some more questions for me and if you need my opinion on it, do contact me on my Patreon or set up a call with me on Calendly. So that was the first topic I wanted to cover. This is really important because filing date chart is usually ahead of final action date chart, because final action date chart is always trying to catch up with the filing date chart. So taking filing date chart into account in calculation of CSPA is of an advantage to the applicant. Okay, now let's talk about the premium processing expansion. What is happening? Couple of months back, USCIS announced that it is expanding the premium processing for more categories. Up until now, you could only use the premium processing for H-1B extensions, amendments, and so on and so forth. And also it was used for I-140 approval in certain situations. Now they are expanding this category. So now what is really happening is USCIS has announced a final phase of premium processing expansion for EB1 and EB2 Form I-140 petitions, and future expansion for F1 students seeking OPT and certain students and visitor and exchange visitors. So really, beginning of January 30th, they have already started accepting 907 requests for all pending multinational executives and managers petitions, and also for NIW petitions for I-140. So if your case was pending for I-140 for multinational manager, which is EB1C or NIW, or if you have a fresh petition, now you could use premium processing for that. Now there is also plan to expand this premium processing for student seeking OPT and students seeking STEM OPT, so 1 year extension and 3 year extensions for OPT, that could also be submitted through premium processing. Now premium processing has a higher fee, about 2,500, and they do adjudicate the case within 10 business days. So this is a huge boon for a lot of people who get stuck in this I-140 wait for almost 6 months to a year. Now this will be completed for you within a couple of weeks. So that was my second topic. Now the third topic I wanted to cover was stateside visa stamping. So you know what is the pain and what is the pain you have to go through when you have a non-immigrant visa such as H or L, and your visa stamp on your passport has expired. Now you don't need to necessarily stamp a visa on your passport if you are just doing an extension and living within the United States and you don't have to travel. So in that case, if you have an approval notice of I-797, it is enough for you to stay in the United States. It only matters when you travel outside of the United States and you want to re-enter. Only then you need a new stamp. Now currently what the process is if you need a new stamp, you have to go to a consulate outside of the United States, typically in your home country. So if you are from India, you'll have to take an appointment of a Dropbox appointment or an in-person interview appointment depending on your situation, and then get the visa stamp over there and come back to the United States. Now there are a lot of issues with this process is because the major one is the wait times. Wait times are very long for non-immigrant visas to be stamped, especially in India. And even if you get an appointment, you have this dreaded administrative processing 221G slip that you may get at the time of your appointment, which delays your stamping by several weeks or even months. So I have known people who have been stuck in India for a long time just to get their stamping done. Now recently, Department of State said they were going to launch the stateside visa stamp renewal pilot program, and initially it will apply to H and L professionals. So it is not yet official on Department of State site as far as I know. It was in an interview with Bloomberg Law, where they were interviewing a Department of State official, and they said that they are going to launch this program. Now in the interview, the US Deputy Assistant Secretary for Visa Services, Julie Stuft, explained that the program will initially be available for H and L visa holders currently in the US and may be expanded to other US based temporary visa holders. So this stateside visa stamping was previously available. If we are in the United States for a long time, before 2003 this was available, then they took it away. Actually, I do remember stamping my visa at some point before 2003, and then they discontinued it for some reason, and now they are bringing it back. But this is going to be a huge boon for a lot of non-immigrant visa holders, especially H&L visa holders, not having to go to a consulate abroad and wait to get your visa stamp to come back. So it is very simple process. Here you send your passport and you get it by mail within a couple of weeks, and then you can freely travel No, so this is not yet a done deal. I don't know what is the confidence that I can put on this news, but it is very welcoming. Even if they start it as a pilot, and I don't know what pilot means, maybe they will accept a certain number of applications, or maybe for a certain duration of time, and see how it goes. Obviously, they are going to charge exorbitant fees as they usually do in order to provide you with this service, but nonetheless this is going to be a welcome news for a lot of people who need stamping to be done. Now, before we move on to the next important topic, check out the links in the description, as those are affiliate links, and if you buy any of those products using those links, the channel will get a little bit of a commission and you will get some discount. Also, while you are down there, do hit the like button. If I get 2000 likes on this video, I'll start a new giveaway, and that will be incredible. So do hit the like button if you like the content of this video. Also, if you want to get in touch with me, there are two methods. One is through Patreon, where you can submit the questions online and I will respond back to you in the form of a chat. The second, if you want to actually talk to me, do reserve your time on Calendly. Both the links are in the description of this video or any other past video. Now, many people have asked me what is happening or what is going to happen in the next couple of months in the EB category in terms of priority date changes in the visa bulletin. So I know for sure that some of you are interested in stock trading, day trading, buying cryptocurrencies. I want to present you Webull. Webull is a trading platform. It allows you to buy stock, it allows you to buy options, do options trading, and also it allows you to buy cryptocurrency. It can be done on the computer or on the mobile app. Now, if you use my link, which is on the screen and also in the description, you will get some free stocks. Webull has announced that it will give 12 free stocks if you use my link, and those free stocks will be valued up to maximum of $30,600. So when you open an account using my link, you will get 2 free fractional share stocks. That value could be anywhere between $3 to $300. If you deposit at least 1 penny, you will get 4 to 10 free additional stocks valued from $7 to $3,000. So that's 12 stocks from Webull free for you if you use my link, and enjoy your free stocks. Now, as you know, in the last couple of years, especially in the last 2 years, there were a lot of spillover visas from FB category because the consulates were closed or operating at a very low level or low operating level. There were a lot of visa numbers that were unused from the consulates, specifically for family-based category, and those spilled over to employment-based category. But now, starting this year, we are going to see those numbers diminish. In fact, this year we only had about 60,000 visa numbers spilled over, and then the next year I am going to expect that those spillover numbers are not going to be anywhere close to what we have seen in the last 2 years. In fact, they may be less than 10,000 or 5,000, which was the norm before pandemic, or they may not be any visas spilled over at all. So be prepared for no spillover or very minimal spillover in October 2023. So what does this mean? This means that the progression of dates for EB category is going to be incredibly slow. One of the reasons is there is already a huge backlog. Remember, they had progressed the dates up until end of 2014 and even beginning of 2015 for EB2 and EB3 categories for India. So what that meant is a lot of people are already in the pool. They are already in the waiting stage in adjustment of status. Some of them luckily got their green cards. So some people who had the priority dates in 2014 or 2013 in EB2 or EB3 category, they got their green cards, but other people were not so lucky. So with this less number of spillovers from rest of the world or from the EB4 and EB5 category, we are going to see a very slow movement in EB3. Now I want to closely go through some of the details that were specified on the March visa bulletin down below. The first one says that visa availability in the employment-based second preference category for all countries including China and India, and they say that this will necessitate corrective action in the coming months to hold number use with the maximum allowed under the fiscal year 2023 limit. This situation will be continuously monitored. What this means is EB2 category is going to be backlogged throughout, irrespective of the country of origin. It's not just India and China which is already backlogged. even the rest of the world or all chargeability will be further backlogged. What I mean to say by this is I expect the EB2 India to retrogress even further a little bit. Right now the final action date for EB2 India is 8th of October 2011. I hope that it doesn't go back, and even if it does go back, it will be by few months. But if there is any further retrogression, I expect to see that in the April visa bulletin. Also, the filing date chart dates may also retrogress. Currently EB2 India is at 1st of May 2012. This may go back even further in the April or May visa bulletin. So that is one. The second thing is the second thing that they are saying is visa availability in the employment-based third preference category may necessitate the establishment of a worldwide final action date, including Mexico and Philippines, in the coming months. So what does this say is all chargeability for EB3 may also get retrogressed. This is absolutely bad news for India, because throughout the year, other than the family category, these are the categories like ROW, rest of the world, which we depend on spillovers and progressing of the date throughout the year. Now we have seen steady progression for EB3 that might even stall. I am a little bit more optimistic about EB3, but EB2 is going to retrogress even further, and EB3 rest of the world is also going to get retrogressed. Further, it goes on to say is there is going to be a retrogression in EB4 and EB5 preference category. This is absolutely bad news, because in all the years before, EB4, EB5 always were unused and they had spilled over into EB1, EB2 and EB3. So mid-year, on sometimes in March or April, we would see a forward movement suddenly because of the spillovers getting allocated to EB1 and EB2. Unfortunately, this year, because EB4 and EB5 also will retrogress in the upcoming visa bulletins, we will not see those numbers filled over into EB1, EB2 and EB3. So all in all, what I mean to say is you cannot expect any significant date forward moments for EB2 and EB3 India this year. EB1 is already retrogressed. It might see some moment, but it will not become current this year. EB2 has a possibility of going even further back by few months. I wouldn't say a year or so. It might go back by few months, maybe month or two, but that is still bad because it's already at 2011. And EB3 keep the date steady at May 2012 throughout the year. So there is not going to be any forward movement in EB category this year, is my speculation. Now come October 2023, when we get the new set of visa numbers for the fiscal year, we will see a significant progression, maybe 6 months to a year. The reason I say this is because the pending applications from 2013 and 2014, some of them have already got their green cards. So the pool of applicants is smaller compared to what you will see in 2015, 2016 and 2017. Those will be huge pool of applications. But because last year we had the priority dates up until end of 2014, some of those people within that date range have already got their green card, so they are out of your way. So there is a possibility of date forward in October 2023, in my opinion. Now Department of State has put out a lot of numbers of pending applications and those sort of things by country, by category and all those things, and I do take a look at them. All of the things that I have said is based on that data. If some of you are interested in detailed analysis, please reach out to me and I can do that for you. But for the general population, I want to say this, that this year dates will not progress, at least until October of 2023. So that's all I had in this video. If you like the content of this video, do hit the like button, because on this video, if I get more than 2000 likes, I'll start a new giveaway. So don't forget to like, and I'll see you in the next one.